CMC, for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens Movement for Change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity, CMC core values. CMC Global. It is a new day for Liberia. It is a new day for the people. Let's all together. Let's all together. It's a unity. Raise up your hands. CMC. The land of liberty, the light of freedom, the love of liberty brought us together. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, CMC, for the people. CMC, by the people. Let's hold together in peace and unity to build a better Liberia. CMC, yes, 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 the time has come.
Henry, Ansu, can you guys hear me?
Mr. Nangwa, are you getting me? Mr. Nangwa, are you on? Mr. Nangwa, you getting me? Mr. Namwe, Mr. Namwe, are you getting me? Mr. Namwe, you getting me?
Hello, Ansu. Can you guys hear me?
I'm getting you, Mr. Namwe.
Oh, hello. Are we live?
Yeah, we live on Facebook.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just then there's no current on my side, so
All right.
I'm
Okay.
fighting how to get light.
Okay. So I was trying to text you. Okay. So have you made an announcement and everything? Are we ready to go?
Yeah, so we are only on Facebook, but we are not on the radio. The radio is off.
Okay. All right. Well, let me say hello to you as and Henry in the back, and also hi to of audience members watching us. Good to be back. It's been a while, but glad to be back. Today we're only live on Facebook. Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're only on YouTube and Facebook. The station in Monrovia is having some technical difficulties, but it's glad to be. I mean, it's good to be back with you all. I'm glad to be here. Um, I think Henry and Ansu, you guys, so you cannot come on, can you?
Yeah, I trying to because my side is died. There's no current, so I'm trying to
Okay.
get light to come on.
Okay. Hey, Doc. Welcome.
Yes, I see it's only you and I
Yeah.
believe we can do this.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, but I think we can do it.
Yeah.
I'm just coming on myself, but apparently we're having difficulties with the station in Monrovia. So right now we're only live on Facebook and YouTube.
Mhm.
So I'd like to welcome you. I think Vicky is supposed to be with us, but I think right now she's in the middle of an emergency meeting. So so far it's you and I, but it's good to have you.
Yes. Welcome back to the United States, by the way. I'm happy that you're back as the global team, or one of you guys are not functioning in your full capacity. It limits me as a person. So I'm happy, that you're back. We had our meeting yesterday. And again, I want to welcome you to the United States. You and your family. You had a safe arrival back, and you had a wonderful time. I understand you, Mr. Gilman, had a wonderful time, and I was so grateful that you guys came to the station and was able to talk to us from there as well. And I'm sure over the period of time, we'll be talking here and there about your experience and ways to improve some of our success and challenges that we have in Liberia as a whole. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Doug, and thank you for the warm welcome. Yeah, it's good to be back. I don't know, it's funny, back from home,
You
home.
people
So
can see me.
no, we don't see you.
And it's
Yeah,
okay.
no,
And us.
So, but it's good to be back on base. I guess that's the way to put it. But it was really an interesting experience. Going into the studio and meeting with the guys. As they're struggling now, it looks like it's always a struggle. When we were there, the microphone, all kinds of little things. But now we're standing, to do the best they can. To do the best we can. Excuse me. To keep us on live. So I want to really appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the complications, the difficulties that they experience, we don't come even near to what they navigate, to keep us on air. So I really want to, give a shout out to them, Ansu and Henry, and Toby. Toby is in the back too. I think he's one of the technicians as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's good to be back. We're back here in the US, and I'm not sure if you.
What did it feel like? And I'll tell you briefly. I remember traveling to Liberia in home. I would say that that is our home. We're blessed to have two homes. Um, and I came back, and it was just strange to me, Mr. Nami, because everything seemed so orderly. For the first time, I
Yeah.
had such visceral experience of like there was curb, there was neighborhoods with lawns, and cars seems to be running properly, and it was just like I have been going home many times, but it just hit me at that moment, and I was just like, wow, such an interesting contrast.
It is a contrast in many ways, indeed. As you're indicating, yes, organized approach to everything. Um, you know, you're in the streets in Monrovia, and I was remarking even to Jerome and I think Jerome may either be in tonight now or so, but we were just remarking on just the little simple things, and I'll be honest, I know we'll talk about, observations and all of that, but this city seems to be a little cleaner than it was when I was back in back in April, or during the previous government, if we must draw a comparison.
Mhm.
Even though every time that I said that, I was reminded that this is what usually happens around the Christmas season, So, but we could see people out in the streets 2, 3 in the morning sweeping on the trucks, and I thought I was a little bit kind of uh weird, but encouraging in a way. We don't have the street sweepers like we have here, mechanized, sweeping of the streets. So people are still using brooms and sweeping, and they were predominantly the female gender. I don't know why, but they have these trucks and people are trying to sweep. But the thing that got us was, as these people were making the attempt to pick up the trash, and people kept throwing, people grab the eating, they just throw stuff down, you know. And I couldn't understand it. What is wrong with you just holding your stuff and finding a can and putting it in, Simple thing like, you unwrap a candy, but I'm talking about, people sitting by the roadside, they grab a piece of, plum, they peel the plum, they throw the peel on the floor. And then the flies will come over and they're wondering, where all this is coming from. So I give credit to what they're trying to do, but I think the problem is much deeper than that. I hope that they will pay some attention to sensitization, educating the people, getting them to understand why and how to keep the city clean, the country clean. So, and because every time they put it on, you go and pick it up, you will get tired, But it will make it easier if I cannot put my trash down so that you don't have to come and pick it up. Yeah, there'll be some certain part of the trash that obviously, you have to pick up. But it will be easier if we all just learn, bag your trash, put it down somewhere, and I come and pick it up.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was.
and I know you were coming, but I had remarked to someone, why don't we have trash cans on the street? And they told me to put steal the trash cans. And so then the question may be, should we find a way to bolt them to the ground, or maybe use concrete? But there are no trash cans. So that too needs to be given some thought. You put it down and you encourage the people to use it, and let's see how that works out. But yeah, please do come in that.
Yeah, thank you for such an observation, Mr. Namwe. But it appears to me, and you just on point, that we're still using the mindset as do as I say, do as I say.
Yeah.
That was an appropriate sort of instruction to follow back in the years before the years of the information highway, before the years of telephone, before the years of children being born with their eyes open, if you know what
Right.
I mean. Okay. Now, it's not just, do as I say. It's not just put your trash away. It's reminder, it's showing, it's telling, it's having jingles, frequent jingles. It's that sensitization that you talk about,
Yeah.
that education. And yes, I agree with you. If we have to bolt these trash baskets in the streets of Monrovia and other parts of Liberia, then we will do so for now. But
Yes.
the thing, I really think that, we need to have jingles on almost everything in Vera vernaculars, Vera dialects, instead of playing, because when I don't know if this is, they play a lot of music on the radios. I think there's also some gambling a little bit that happens. That's Liberia, that's how they do things. But use that time to sensitize people on gender and gender based violence, sensitize people on cleanliness. And one thing you strike, cleanliness, when I was growing up, like I often say, my mother and father said cleanliness is close to godliness. And I think
Yeah.
what they actually meant was the diseases that you talk about, it does not just affect you when I eat uh plum and put the seed down, I mean put the peeling down and stuff. The flies come on there. Okay, flies travel and they take diseases around, and then we get cholera, we get things that are diseases that are preventable. We
Yeah.
get typhoid, we get malaria. Those things are preventable because what flies do, they sit on your plum seed, whether it's rotting, whatever thing you order from the bacteria from your mouth, they go next door, they sit on the other place, they poop, they do whatever, it's interesting. So I agree with you, and that sensitization is important. Yes.
Yeah. I really wish they would spend some time on that. And I think, like you're saying, it will be easier if the people can self-regulate by being educated, than trying to chase them around. And I'm telling you this, that I know I don't want to, beat a willing horse to death, or whatever the expression. But look, people still go by they go two or three little trees behind, away from the road. They pee right there. I'm talking about men and women. And then you ask yourself, well, yeah, that's not right, but what are the options? Where do they go if they're jammed? There are no public bathrooms. There's nothing.
Yes.
So if these people, you become a person of a certain age, you can, I don't care how bad the dream is, you have to go. If you have
Yes.
to go, you
Yes.
can postpone for a few minutes, but you have to go. And these people, they don't have that many options,
Yes.
and again, they pee all over the place. And of course, there's so much rain, it washes all these things down, and they wash all around and against any and everything, and you're asking, why do we get sick? And then you go inside. I saw some of my friends, educated people, like I consider myself, they're eating, and the bones and thing, instead of putting on the plate, they put it on the table or on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah. So now when the roaches and things come, what do you think they're coming for? Because when you pick it up, you're not gonna wipe the floor, they smell, and they come after all of the. So it's a deeper problem of educating our people, getting them to understand, why this is important. When you're eating, don't put your stuff, put it on the plate on the side, or somewhere,
Yes.
but don't put it on the table, or don't put it on the. So, you talk about radio stations. There are so many of them, but I believe the ministry of the LBS, or whoever is in charge of the licensing, I think that's where they can strike a deal, because these stations get their licenses from the government. They
Yeah.
should give you a slot where you run your messages, your jingles, like you were saying. Every station should have some kind of jingle educating our people on cleanliness. Like you say, yes, cleanliness is next to godliness. That's exactly what you said. That's what they used to tell us. I don't know if you remember Francis Popo Bleedy. I think that was his name. He was with the Ministry of Health. And I'm dating myself here, but he had a whole program devoted to this thing. They ran these things, and they kept on, why you don't go up river, to do your thing, because some people are down river.
Yeah.
All of these little things, they're trying to remind you, to make you understand how to behave yourself and avoid getting sick, cholera and all these things. But that's Liberia for us.
Yeah, Mr. Nami, I want to say that, such a show is so important for now, that we need to teach our people. The mindset has to be changed. It has to be molded into what I call modernization. Okay. And you are so right about all of your observation. And one thing I also noticed too, in addition to the jingles, the education system, the curriculum should embed these things as well. I when I'm when, and I pay attention to the billboards in the country. I see either politics, and maybe I was in Liberia during political time, or
Mhm.
my own bias. I would recognize that, or I saw nice wine, wine billboards, alcohol billboards, okay, or something. And we could also use. I mean, there were some, I think, humanity type billboard, like I can't
The
remember.
church is religion, right?
Okay, yes,
Yes.
religion, and then there was also a few, but I want to say that you know um, we could also use the billboards. The billboard spaces. We could use that. you know so there's the jingles. We are recommending school curriculum, start teaching our children early, and
Yeah.
also teaching our university students that yes, part of learning book is important. You can
Yeah.
memorize, you can have some critical thinkers, but you have to know some basic hygienic practices, so
Yeah.
that we wouldn't encourage the kind of diseases, preventable diseases like cholera, like malaria, like typhoid, things that are very common in our region. It can be preventable. So I think your observation is right, very similar to mine.
I absolutely agree with you. But if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about sports. Since in fact,
Yes.
Ms. our USA chair and a number of our members are from NIMBA,
Uh-huh.
and we do have some of our members from Grand Crew.
Uh-huh.
And there was this game last night. My wife is from Nimba, and so I have a lot of friends and in-laws from Nimba. So if you don't mind, let's congratulate the country, and then of course the winning team, Nimba and Grand Crew, and all of the participants. Congratulations. There's a lot of hulu going on over Mr. Alice Cummings. I don't understand that. From what I read from Taiwan, apparently Mr. Cummings got into the stadium before the president did, and the president got in and recognized him and invited him to join him. How do you say no to the president? I hear people interpreting it differently. Honestly, I don't share that view. Besides, I think sports transcend everything, politics and all. During the time of sports, people, it's a happy moment for everybody. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but I know Mr. Cummings was at the stadium, and I think the president invited him, so he followed the president, I think, to go and kick off the ball and whatever it is. So the bottom line is he's shoulder to shoulder with the president, and many people as interpreting that to mean that he lost his opposition pedigree and all of that. But I differ.
Well, first, I just want to say that Mr. Cummings is a person who loves Liberia. He has a foundation in the country, and that foundation has helped Liberians in many ways, especially Liberian women. The foundation was very instrumental in the one-stop program that they had for sexually abused women. They were able to support them with providing beds. He was able, during COVID, he was able to provide some of the hospitals with oxygen tanks. And also he sponsored, I went to Liberia, actually, I think it was 2021, as I said to many, to do a 2-week sexual and gender-based violence training. And it was a wonderful training. We had people from all capacities. They did all of that. They selected, the members of the group that was supposed to train. They brought police officers. They brought community leaders, market women. It wasn't just ministers, just judges, the ordinary people that they saw walking the streets. And so the selection period process was interesting, and I really appreciated how they did that. So all of that was funded by the Cummings Africa Foundation. So I want to say that he loves Liberia. He's doing things in Liberia. In as much as I dislike this agreeing with Stanton, but I think his comment was based on, a lot of people, when you say I have Monday morning quarterbacking, I'm sure you know what I mean. Yeah, when you look back at things, but in the moment, it's not something that you think is feasible or could happen. In the
Yeah.
moment, the president invited Mr. Cummings to go on the field with him. Uh, and in the moment, Mr. Cummings agreed. But when you look at it on quarterback and scoring political points, because that's the lens in which, to me, I think another platform, the person who people who take this political view, they see things politically. Okay, and I think that's the point they were coming from. Now, who won this political?
Won that match. Yeah.
Yeah, who won the political battle, and and who can use the photos from that to say, can we now say that Mr. Buckeye never invited the unit the opposition?
Yeah.
Can we now say it? And so, I mean, those are fundamental, interesting questions.
Yes.
But like I said, for people who look at things from a political point of view and do a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, it seems to make sense. But if you're in the moment, so Cummings was in the moment, the president invited him. He's not, maybe he doesn't have the personality to say yes or no, thank you. You go on it and be politically diplomatic. Like, no, thank you. You can go ahead and do your stuff. I'll give you your space, but nice to say I agree or disagree. But but yes, I think if you ask me, and when I heard some people who said they thought that Mr. Buckeye scored point, I did not want to agree, but I had to agree to a certain extent that yeah, Mr. Buckeye can get a lot of miles out of that picture. I don't know if that's how he was thinking.
Yeah.
But it's been planted in the heads of Liberians.
Yeah, I mean, you do make a good point. I don't disagree with you at all. Again, it will probably depend on how the ANC people can turn that into their favor. But you're right. Whenever you are in the presence of the president, you are diminished. I mean, it's just a fact. He is the president of the Republic of Liberia. There is no way anybody can be bigger than the president of Liberia. So yeah, you're right in that way, and I don't disagree with Mr. Witherspoon on that. If you look at it in terms of that, yes, I agree. I think the president came out on top of that, But again, the ANC people, this is not like the president called an opposition gathering to say, yeah, this is the president.
The point that we
Yeah,
have to strike.
right.
Yes, we have to strike that.
Exactly. So the ANC people, if they wish, they could take that and also score some points out of it. But again, I'm sure they know what to do with it. I saw the spin that Mr. Taiwan we put on it, but I would have gone a little further. But again, that's how they see it. So, but I also wanted to talk to you about the spirit. We were in town when all of this was happening. Jerome is from Grand Bassa, and so we're out of we know we're in town, and again, grateful to the political leader. He provided us with transportation, so it was a lot easier to get around town. So Jerome and I, we were carpooling, so we were together almost all the time. Tillman had the other vehicle, and so we ran around town. He just every time he wants to go, either go watch the African Cup of Nations or go to the sports complex. So this day we're going to the sports complex. I think we on our way, and the game is on, and we're hearing that Grand Crew is giving it to Grand Bass. So we get there, and Grand Baza realized Grand Baza has lost the match, and I asked him, "Do you want us to still continue?" And he doesn't want to say no. So yeah, so we enter at Kadi's restaurant. My wife and I.
Want to still continue?
Yeah, so but it's a very interesting experience. The tailgating, people really take this thing seriously in Liberia. And again, as we were saying, sports is the universal unifier. People they tend to forget everything, and people just have a good time. There were people all in the streets, people selling, people buying, people singing, people just having a good time. And so we went, and we didn't get to go inside because we weren't as motivated as before. So we sat on at Kadi's place, which happened to be in the same fence as the complex, SKD complex. But in the back, I think get 8 or 9 or somewhere in the back there. That's so. And this so we were there, and we had to stay until the crowd thinned out, and then before we drove home. But it's a very interesting experience. When the games are on, there's not pretty much nothing else people talk about except the meet. And then we were there. I think you heard the controversy. I think there was a protest filed either from Cape Mount or so.
Yes.
Yes, and that too took up some of the space. And then that came to pass, and then of course we got onto the real competition. But again, congratulations to the organizers. I heard some people complaining that that has always been the problem with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, that they tend to always sell more tickets than there are seats in the stadium. And so I think this happened again. There were people apparently who bought tickets and couldn't get in. So that doesn't look good, and I hope they will find a way to handle that. But other than that, it looks like it was a win. But I'll let you come in. I have one other point to make, but I'll let you come in.
Sure. First, I want to give a shout out to Kadi's restaurant. I think it's the one that you mentioned. I've never been there, but I've heard that some good things. That she served good food and has a good community place, so that's good. I want to say also congratulations to Nima. I do have a connection to Nima as well. My children. Father is from Nima County, so they very much have
Have a connection, yeah.
yes, connection. So which is good. So congratulations to Nima. However, though, Mr. Nama, I have to tell you, I mean, Mr. Nama, I'm sorry, I was thinking sometimes I get you, Mr. Gilman, confused. I have to tell you that I'm disappointed in the way that we have managed sports in Liberia. We could make a whole lot of positive gains out of the kind of meet.
Yeah.
I mean, we could use it to showcase different, aspects of our country. We could use it to celebrate like things that we talk about to educate the population on different hygiene practices. We could benefit from it economically, like how you using the tickets that you said, selling more tickets. We don't even know where the money go, who reports that, what kind of corruption involved, and I'm sure somebody is pocketing the money. I can tell you that because nobody makes report on those tickets. And then of course, we were talking about earlier. I was on another platform about the way how we fund sports in our country. Like we just think that the kind of meet is the only time when we really pay attention to who's going to win. How about during the days when these guys have to be trained? During the days when they have to go to play those other counties in order to get to the county meets. How about the coaches themselves? How about the nutrition, the exercise, and all of those things. It takes political willpower. It takes our country understanding that it's not just the game, okay? It's not, and people can be educated and have the talents and gifts in so many ways. And take it from me, you're an educator, I'm an educator. So we know that some people are gifted in going to the classroom, they can do the critical thing, they have the determination and motivation, they can sit in the classroom and learn. We know that there are some people who are just good with the rhythm. There are some people who are just good, with kicking a ball.
Yeah.
They have a good, lens and peripheral view to see what to do. So we have to horn in on those things. Our country only know one way. When you start playing soccer or other kind of sport or basketball, they say, "Oh, you're grown up," And I've done that as a child. Many people who remember I was a child guard. I played guard for Bontown School. We used to yes, I played basketball.
Basketball, my wife did too.
And kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife did. I didn't know you played.
Yes, so I'm very much, was into sports in those days. I'm still is because I have a husband who likes American football.
So let me ask you this because I don't know. I never really asked my wife. Let me ask you about it from the female perspective. When I was young, we basically played sport to get the girls' attention. I don't know. I can confess now, but that's something that's what we talked about in the locker room. When
Well, I mean, of course.
I'm sure Avi is listening. He's laughing. Right?
Yeah, he's probably laughing too. Yeah, he's out there literally laughing, listening to us. But the thing about it, I mean, yeah, I mean, you guys had a whole cheering squad. I remember when we took the buses, you guys had people who would sing behind the goal. They'll be singing. Oh, you took the rest of the
There you go. And then when the girls call your name, you want to kill yourself.
Of course. After the game, I know how many of you had to go with. I know how many girls or whatever. It wasn't like for the girls, we really had to play hard. I mean, I remember, we playing basketball in Beaumont. We had one of the largest gym and then one of the most. And
yes, I mean the Bontown school. You guys, because you had the international mix.
Correct.
Yes, you guys were a powerhouse. I have to say that Bontown school, and then Lanco,
And the thing about it is that we had top-notch places to practice. We had a gymnasium, before other schools, why people are saying catcher us, even though they whip us a couple of times and MC whip a couple of times. But while they were still practicing outside, we were playing in an air-conditioned gym, we have football night tournaments for soccer. So hold on, yeah. Someone's calling.
I forgot to share the show too. I'm sharing. Please share the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the girls, it was something very serious, especially depending on the team that you were in. I mean, of course, people were attracted to our talents at times, but yes. But yeah, so it's an excuse that somebody tell me say they can't build a stadium in Liberia. They can't build. I mean, if you want to put mines, you will see that the fields were grassed. So we had a Olympic-sized swimming pool. That was before the war. And those things, granted, they were built by the Germans. But if the Germans could do that using our iron ore, they were just giving us droppings of our iron ore. Why not now? Why are we not fussing? I saw that the accelerometer argument is back because they're back to vote on whether the government should proceed with the accelerometer bill, and people are going pros and cons. I read about that a little bit, and they're saying I think I don't know who one of the senators were advocating is probably Senator Amar Khan is advocating for like a different approach instead of doing royalty approach where they take 70% and we take 30% and they bribe our legislature either with trucks or money or what have you. The point is, can you imagine you taking our resources over the years and you giving us 70%, I mean 30%, and you taking 70%? Okay. That's
that let me come back first of all to the absence again of I think missed opportunity even for the sports. I can't tell you that I saw any kind of advertisement in the town. Wow. I don't know if the whole sports meet is going on. I don't see any advertisement, the business people, I don't know if anybody took advantage. I mean, the car we were riding in, the driver, the CMC channel was on the whole time through the FM. I never heard any advertisement. Every time I sat in that car, the radio was always on. You don't see anything printed anywhere, Then so youth sport can even go out to the cell phone companies and send out text messages. There's several ways, they can promote it. I didn't see any of that happening. And then there's the whole funding of sports. I was reading somewhere today. I think the price for the winning team is $2 million Liberian dollars, which comes out to a little over $1,000.
Are you serious?
A little over $10,000, excuse me.
Okay.
And then the MVP of the football school, the girls get I think $250,000. the kickball team. I mean, what is $250,000 right now? You know, and then the MVP of the boys gets around 1 million. I mean, I think 1 million. I think when I did it, I think $100,000, something like, which is around a little over $1,000. You know, what is it that we're doing? I saw a video clip. I don't know, maybe you would talk about it. I saw it on Eugene Fargon's page, and I think you'll kind of play it briefly. They one of the players is giving it to the former president Weah and talking and lamenting the lack of support in spite of the leaders that came from Grand Crew. The president came from Grand Crew, the former, I think, pro tem Albert Chia, I think he's from Grand. So you have some real notable sons and daughters from Grand Crew, but the kid is saying they don't even have a practice pitch in Grand Crew County. And the when the kids get on the pitch to compete, that's not where the funding is needed. The funding is needed way in advance of that. The preparation, you gotta give the children you gotta give them the fighting chance. So you have the whole national sports meet, something that I understand the stadium was packed to capacity. Everybody wants to go and have a good time, but they're not funding the teams. I don't even know if they have any money in the national budget. So the children go and play, and at the end of the day, they get what, $11,000. I mean, so we have to take it a little bit more seriously, and then you come back to where you were saying, and that's why the Germans throughout the world, they do so well at sports and all of that. Even here in the US, because they give the support. You gotta give the support. You gotta train the children. You gotta give them the support, the fight, the base that they need for preparation, because there is a lot of preparation that go into it. Nimba County has won this thing in record 7 times, and that you go to Nimba all the time. If I'm not, I will go as well and say Nimba is probably the second richest county. They're very productive, and so they find a way, to support the team, and no wonder why. I think they are the winningest county, sports wise, in Liberia, a record 7 times since 2000. I think they won it a record 5 times, and I think they will continue to win because they take these things seriously. So this kid was telling President I think the president asking about Bame, and the boy said, "What Bame?" He said, "What Bame?"
Yes.
And 1950 Bame pitch, But it kind of, to me, is sum up the whole problem. What is wrong with sports in Liberia?
Absolutely.
The kids come to play. Yeah, we want to see them, we want to enjoy them, but we're not giving them the support. So we got a hands tied behind their back, and we want them to fight. And that's why Nimba will continue to dominate, because they support the team a lot. And that's, I think, our people need to pay attention. Because for a country that is plagued with so many depressing problems, I think this is the one opportunity everybody has to forget everything and just kind of detox, de-traumatize, and have fun. I think we can do better than what we're doing right now. But they will always tell us, we're the talking heads. Because right now we're not on the spot, so we act like we know everything. But there are people in the government right now who are saying some of the same things we're saying, and even the players themselves are saying some of the same things that we're saying. You got to support the team if you want them to do well. You gotta support them. You gotta give them the support that they need.
Yeah, I want to say that for those who talk about us being talking heads, and it's okay for you to feel that way. There has to be some people in society that give feedback and give their thoughts about trending issues in the country, and then some people who carry out the feedback. Some people reject the feedback. So I'm okay with just talking about it. But getting back to Nima won whatever thing you said, but 7 times, and you have to understand. To me, I lived a very long time with a Nibayan, and I've hung around Nibayans for a long time as well. I still have good friends who are Nibayans, and I study their mindset. They tend to be very determined group of people.
Yeah.
to love their culture. They tend to be very unified and support each other. The buying some all of that thing between sometimes the Guillermo, the Bui, the Madingo, and all of that stuff there. But once you sometimes touch one of them, in a way you touch all of them because somehow they understand the dynamics of being interrelated. You know, I've seen, my husband, who is predominantly from the Mano tribe, my ex-husband, who is predominantly from the Mano tribe, but he has interrelationship, you
with
know,
the
with
guild and the
Igos or Madingos or the Bleed people, the Pele
yeah.
people around the borderline of Basa, area there, and so there's that kind of connection. The
Yeah.
termizing, what you can call it, termizing your people, whatever, I mean, I had to, I sometimes just listening and understanding, and then because of their productivity, they always seem to want to be on top. They're very motivated, and so they organize funding for their team.
Yeah.
I saw, the superintendent of Nimba, what's called Gondo.
Yeah, me and Pedro.
Miepe, yes, Miepe called Gondo. That woman already has a building, which people were questioning, including myself, for the team. And she said she was building a building in Carisburg area for her team. That
Yeah.
if the Nimbayan boys gonna come and play, they have to be comfortable. And she supported them. I saw her how she was dressed, she was singing, she was dancing. She supported her team. She is known as a mother figure in the
Yeah.
in the county. Who
Yeah.
else was doing that from the other
Yeah.
team?
From
In
the
as,
other side.
yeah, from the other teams, yeah, from the other
Mhm.
side. In as much as this kid came and just going into to how he was speaking to President, he was asking great questions. We have had we have had, Chair. We have you, President, who said, when have you guys done the
The
same
former
thing?
speaker, Kofa, is from that part too.
That's
For
what
that
I'm saying.
team. Yeah.
Yes. When have you guys cheer us on? That's just to say the more give us the moral support like we see Miapa Gondo doing.
Yeah.
You know, when when so and he did, and you said the right thing. It's not only the kind of meat that you just show up,
Yeah.
it's before the moral support, the funding, the preparation, the training. If we can take these guys, I mean, in the teenage years, just focus on them, we'll do great in our country. And you're right. I'm thinking, I'm sorry, I know we're not there yet, and I'm one of the last person that will compare apples to oranges, United States to Liberia, but I take some of the good things that I learned here and see ways that we can implement. The Super Bowl is coming on up, Mr. Nami, even though that your team, the Eagle lost, and you told me how sad you were. Yeah, my husband team, the Steelers lost too. Yes, but, but
Let me tell you, go ahead when you finish. I'll tell you the kind of anguish that I suffer in Monrovia. Well, go ahead. I don't want you to lose your thought out.
I'm saying, but I was just saying, yes, you see how the people organize the Super Bowl party. The halftime party is a whole party celebrating their culture, musical culture, and they make that a big deal. And the teams that I go play, I mean, they're in there red, white, and blue most of the time. They're singing the national anthem. I think I saw somebody post a picture in one of the chat rooms I'm in that they was showing all the police bikes that they came in. I don't know if you saw that picture, but there was a police. They rode a bike on the stadium. I don't know how true that is because I like to make sure that I verify these pictures first. But yeah, you're showing us the police bike. But
Yeah.
are they in red, white, and blue? Are they
Yeah.
or are they isolating and supporting a particular team? And so those are the things that we do. And so all that money they're making, those are just some of the preliminary things that you do. You
Yeah.
listen to the radio, advertise these things, get more money, find a way to put jungles up, do different things, something different, not every day. And I agree with you. That content meet is a big deal because
It's a big deal, Doc. I mean,
But-
the whole town the whole country is seized up, and I agree with you. Our leaders have to model what they want to see. You talk about the Super Bowl here. I haven't attended one yet, but I can tell you when the games are on, not even the divisional games. When you go to the games, I have gone to the tailgating is out of this world. Yeah, this is America. I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but the tailgating, I will probably say the whole of red light when the Eagles are playing that whole, and what they do here, the way SKD is, the building in the way that all the sports have, their pitches, the baseball team is in the same fence with the basketball team. So it's a big area, right? And then the people who got the money, they buy the gates where you
Yeah.
park. People pay for the gates. That so somebody owns gates 4B or someone, and that's where they will set up their shop. They bring their ROV with the TV mounted, the food is going, most of the hot dog, the burgers, and then the drinks, people
Yes.
know you from nowhere that you're going to just grab you. Come on, come and drink. Come on.
Yes.
And somebody don't know where they end up not even going to the game itself because
Gonna hear me.
before the game comes out, they're sleeping. Yeah.
Please, yeah, they can't correct
But
us.
that is the spirit, and I the ordinary people in Monrovia, they embody that spirit. But I can't say that I saw it a lot in our leader. I can't, maybe besides Kwame Gono, I don't know of any other government official who took this whole thing and put it on their head. You understand me?
I
They
know.
need to, yes, it's therapeutic. Give our people reason to have fun and
Yeah.
enjoy and have a good time.
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I I don't know if that really happened.
No,
I
we
don't
only
know.
saw them when it was time to do the kickoff, when the president
Yes,
showed up, the vice president showed up. I mean, I'm sure they went on the game at different times, but they was not visible enough. It was not visible enough. And they didn't hype it enough in terms of utilizing the media space, the telecommunication space. Like you said, the text messages could go up. And
yes.
you know,
And they have some kind of, they have billboards now. Because I've seen, and but the billboards, yeah, those companies, they have these bright billboards. Even right in front of the mansion and this on New Studio, they have put some of the messages up.
yes.
But yes, put the messages up, advertise, do whatever it is, but whip up the
Mm,
spirit. And so,
yeah.
I'll tell you my experience. The Eagles, our first wild card game, the apartment we were in, for some reason, the Wi-Fi went out, and the guy now
Oh,
going back and forth. The game started at 9:30. At 4:30, the Wi-Fi is not on. Yeah, and I told my wife, I said, I come and go. Jerome is in his place having a good time. So my friend Samuel Boke Nabu, who was in the class reloaded, he had invited me. He got Starlink, but my wife said no. The man is out of town. You can't go in and go occupy. I got nowhere to go.
so you
And
didn't watch
so
the game?
I'm telling you. So when the guy did, he came in and he gave me the passcode for a nearby. So the signal
Oh,
was not very weak. So I had to sit at the door throughout the entire game. But
sorry.
and then at the end of it all, we lost. So imagine my agony,
It was bad. It
But
was
yeah,
bad.
but it was probably good that not to prolong the agony for Eagles Nation. The team was not that, it was not looking very good. But
Yeah,
so but coming back to, before I forget that, I beg you, let me get a shout out.
yes, please
Yes,
do.
because I will forget. So
Yes.
let me give a quick shout out. And I know throughout I'll keep doing that, but I have to say Chairman Yogi,
Mm-hmm.
the CMC chairman. Yeah,
Yes.
he's a class act. Um, I didn't have to even tell him. It was only the first time I was going when I texted him. But all
Mm-hmm.
the other times I walk in, he drops everything he's doing, and he made us feel comfortable. So I want to give a shout out to James MV Yogi, Chairman Yogi. Thank you very much. I met the SecGen, Wilfred Bangura. Wilfred, thank you very much, my brother. He called me his counterpart. We were sitting together at in the conference room. He said we were sitting together. And also I saw this the general. She called herself the social media Soya.
Oh, Binta.
Binda, I saw Binda the first time we met. We've been doing each other like forever. That's how she is. She hug my wife. So I want to give a shout out. I met Senator Sano Dazzle Johnson.
Yes.
Yes, another very affable gentleman. First time meeting, but it was also feeling that we had known each other. He was explaining all of the complications, the road to that 363 million project. Anyway, he was explaining all of
Oh,
the
yes.
intricacies,
Yes.
And then I met the chair of District Number 2, Henrietta Matal.
Okay.
Yes, Ms. Matal,
Yes.
I think you know her. She came over from the CPP. She
Yes.
was a candidate.
Yes.
Yeah, but I met her. I also met Mr. Harrison Luo. Ever since I came back here and we have exchanged text messages.
Yes.
Mr. Luo is he came from the NPP side, but
Uh-huh.
he's one of the stalwarts of the CPP and the CMC. So
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Luo. I also met the women's chair, Miss Alice Besa. So
Yes.
she was trying to introduce herself. So I said, "Hello, Miss Besa." She said, "Oh, I just I already see you." Yeah, so we met Miss Besa. Also we met the vice chair for administration, Mariama Donso Singari. And
Mm-hmm.
so shout out to Mariama. She was also very nice. We also I met Mr. Smith Toby. I didn't meet Smith until the last day we went to the office. He
Mm-hmm.
can tell my man, you've been in town. I said, yeah, I've been to the office so many times. You're not here. But anyway, I met Smitty. So shout out to Smitty. Right now
Mm-hmm.
he's out of town. And if he was in town, maybe he would have helped with the
Mm-hmm.
technical problem we're having with the station. But shout out to Cindy. And there were a couple of people in the office, but most specifically the Miss Dieras. I didn't get Dieras' last name.
Yes,
Yes.
dearest.
Yes, she was very, very accommodating. She will bring you water. She will be ask you if you want coffee, whatever you wanted in the office. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to give a shout out to Dearest. Thank you for receiving my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
So Ansu, I didn't get Ansu's last name, but he's the chief driver.
Okay.
So he was the one Mr. Yogi sent our request to process our vehicles. So
Okay.
yeah, shout out to Ansu. And then one of the drivers they gave us is Fumba.
Mm-hmm.
Fumba was assigned with Tillman, but he's younger than our driver, who is Musa Kone. So
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to the two of them. Then I met one of the IT guys. I think he's Daniel. I hope he's not David, but I think I heard Daniel. So he explained to me, told me the ID card room and all of that, and what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, to get our ID cards over, and he went through the website again, telling me how much they've simplified the registration and all of that. So I just got it down in the IT guy. I met
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Passer with the National Youth Chair.
Yes.
He actually went to Grand Gita with Mr. Tillman Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, there were several other people I know I'm leaving out, but I just wanted to give a special shout out and also shout out to everyone else who made our stay very comfortable. I got a package from the chairman. I hope I'm not making you feel jealous and bad, but I got this. I got a lot of goodies in
I
it.
got my own so.
Yeah, also. So but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. There's so much energy that. So shout out my wife and I were here safely. So I wanted to thank everybody. The PL,
Yes.
he was gracious. But I got a bone to pick with him. He came to see us at the apartment. We sat down for almost 2 hours, and then we were supposed to do lunch. And
Wow.
and he never found the time. So I'm not happy about that, but I'm sure he and I will talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So we met him, I think, twice. But it's crazy in our town that his schedule is, I don't know how he manages. I mean, getting around Monrovia is hard. And then they're doing the overpass around the ministerial complex. That place is always a bottleneck.
Oh
The
wow.
traffic, you sit in traffic before you do one or two things, the day is almost gone.
Right.
Yeah, so it's so difficult to get around,
Yes.
but I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody. But thank you very much. We can get back to our topic.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, for many who think that the CMC consists of just, people in the USA or just a few people, there's a whole institution. I heard Mr. Naman say there's somebody who process cars. It's not just you can just go grab a car. You got to send a notification out to someone to be able to get the car. So I hope many of you heard that and you hear that the CMC is growing. We have different people that do different things. Decisions are not just made just by Mr. Billy. Yes, Mr. Billy is the political leader of this organization, but it's an organization that is very systemic. Okay, uh, people things are made by consensus of ideas that are argued out. So I just wanted to say thank you for giving a shout out, and for all of the people that treated you guys, you and your wife, very nicely and accommodated you in Liberia. You did it the CMC way. That's one of the things that we're known for our kindness, our empathy. Okay, and so I appreciate those who serve and were very, very hospitable to you and your wife in Liberia. So that's
Thank
good.
you, Doc.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We missed you guys, but we had a good time. So now, I don't know if you have an agenda. You asked me to moderate. If you don't have an agenda, I want to also talk about the visit that you all had
Yes.
in Maryland. The PL had told us when we got in town that he was coming to this visit. In fact, we left the same day. I had to tell him twice. He thought we were on the same plane. I kept telling him, no, we're not. We're not on the same plane. But anyway, we left together. But I believe he got here before us because we got in and then we saw you also. But congratulations, you look so dignified, I don't want to say so government in power like, but I saw you and I was really impressed. I saw you, I saw the PO, I saw AB, I saw Vicky, then I saw Winfred. I think I saw Nathan Bia, my in-law from Rhode Island,
Yes.
and a couple of other people. But thank you very much for doing that. I don't know if you care to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Yes, we, as you probably know, Martin Luther King's celebration is, I think, today or yesterday was his birthday.
The 19th, yes, today.
Yes, today. And I get that a little bit mixed up because yesterday was my mother's birthday, my late mother. So, you know,
Heavenly belated birthday to her.
yes, yes. So they're Americans in this country, African Americans and people who are culturally diverse. They really take this day to be so important, and they have been celebrating him since 1968 when he, passed away.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole Martin Luther King committee that arranges this whole, gathering of people over the years. As a matter of fact, just aside, one of the committee men, I think he said over 30 something years he's been involved, and he actually stepped down. One of the things that he said, one of the things hallmark of being a great leader is know when to step down, and he commented on stepping down. But we went in there. It was a big deal. There was a lot of people hold me responsible for knowing that the PL was coming. I actually, when PL got on the plane and I saw him with the entourage getting to the airport, that's when it's really dawned on me that he was going to be here. Someone reminded me yesterday, I think when we were in that meeting, that he did mention something that he was coming to visit and he wanted us to know, but he didn't tell us the specific. But there's so many things on my plate, as you well know, so many things on our plate. So until I saw him leave, and then I got another call from somebody else on the committee on the Black Caucus. It's a Liberian guy who's actually on the Black Caucus. He actually called me today, and I will share that news to you to tell me another good news. He was played a very instrumental role in contacting the PL and some team members to get him over here. And he had called me. In fact, it was so bad because somehow he got my number. He had called me a few times, but I didn't even call him back until later on when they told me, like, oh shoot, I got to do this, But yes, PL came. He met with Governor Westmore, and if anyone knows who Governor Westmore is, he is the governor of Maryland. Right now, America is going through an interesting transition. There's a lot of uncertainties in the air, especially for people like us, Black, brown, culturally diverse persons. And Governor Westmore and a lot of the people in that room vowed that they will continue fighting for the civil rights as Martin Luther King did for others. Okay, Martin Luther King was very instrumental in making sure that discrimination was reduced in this country for people who are culturally diverse. He made sure there were, equal like just equal rights for all. So there's a lot of things that the group celebrated. We listened to a few of his speech, like especially the "I Have a Dream" speech. They were playing it while we're there. A lot of the guests included permanents who were rubbing shoulders and networking with permanent, uh, lawmakers or potential lawmakers.
Yeah.
Mr. Yeah was invited because he is the state representative of Rhode Island,
Well, yeah.
and uh, Russell is running to be
Yeah.
a state representative for Minnesota. So
Okay.
many people in their categories from around the country, and that
Yeah.
was intentionally done. And especially if you're culturally diverse, they wanted you to come to empower you to get the spirit of Martin Luther King inside of you as you march on. And so it was just really, a great thing. Our PR had the opportunity to meet Westmore, and they talked, they chatted. Our PR also gave a speech on how Liberia was founded by free slaves. In Liberia, in my opinion, he didn't add this, should be like how Israel is to Jewish people in this country. That's how Liberia should be to African Americans in this country. And I'm sure you understand exactly what I mean.
Absolutely.
Israel as a home
Absolutely.
to the Jewish people. And so he sent that message to them that Liberia exists, and it was the spirit, the sweat and blood of the people like Martin Luther King that wanted the continuation, the progress for Liberia, and so the fight goes on. And so he invited the entire different groups of people,
To
and
Liberia.
experience their home, and they should come to their home. And it was
Yeah.
very endearing, to hear him, include like the culturally diverse people to join, the sojourn and make Liberia is your home. Yes, I got argument that yes, Liberia is on the map, and the more that we continue to have these types of conversations, with other groups, the more that we continue to negotiate what
Yes.
is rightfully Liberians, what is rightfully for Liberia.
Yeah.
uh, it's good. Yes, the war is increasingly going on into an isolational state. In this country, you hear words like America first. Does that mean that we have to say Liberia first? Uh, Not necessarily so, although we have to be very smart about Liberia first when it comes to our mineral resources. However, we need to keep, the friendship. We need to keep, horning into places like Europe and China, the United States. The best what we can take away from them, not what they are taking away from us, because that was the past mantra that they had. What we can take away from these, from Liberia. So it was really great. Today I got a call, and they were looking for the PL. The committee was looking for the PL, and I'm going to announce this. I believe I have the liberty of announcing this. There's a certain group of people that would like to visit Liberia and
Nice.
want to be the guest of CMC as well as the political leader.
Nice.
And so I'm going to make sure that we work magics and jump through hoops to make sure that it's
Absolutely.
for the sake
Hey,
of CMC. So
let's
yeah.
make it happen.
Yes, so I'm very proud, and I think all Liberians, whether you believe in the ideology of CMC or you believe in us being the developmental people, so I'm so proud to say yes. They're referring to you guys as the developmental people. Yeah,
Yes.
when we're talking, I'm proud to say that yes, that we will definitely make sure that Liberia continues to be a tourist spot or a home for culturally diverse people in the world. Will take our rightful place. You know, and support. I know the government is supporting tourism, but we want to do that in a different way and manner. Um, so that's what that's how our PL. I heard some story about how our PL got there, but
Yeah.
I have confirmed the veracity of such story, and I don't want to repeat it publicly. But what I would say is our PL was invited, and he called me. There were certain people that he called, and we accompanied him.
Congratulations, Doc. I really, I'm proud of you guys, proud of you, proud of the PL, proud of our team here. Even here in this country, the candidates here, even though the PL is not a candidate yet officially, but they strive to test their foreign policy pedigree. They all, they go out there and begin, to test their capacity to, to harden up with, dignitaries and other leaders. We know President Obama went to Germany. They do that. So I was thinking about that in that light, and I think the PL, he scored some points. I think he did admirably, and to cap that off, if we can get a trip to come and visit and hopefully reignite, you know, that Liberia being the beacon of Africa on the continent. Yeah, we should have that. I mean, look, the Ghanaians around us, they have all kinds of things. They're trying to lure these people. What our people don't understand is, these people come with money. They spend money in your economy. And that in turn provides all kinds of opportunities, jobs. They do that. I think Ghana last year made $4 billion from the tourism industry, if I still remember the numbers. Compare that to what we're making. And yeah, I think I heard the PL telling the gathering that they should know that they have a home.
Yeah.
In Liberia. Yeah, the continent is open to them, but more specifically, Liberia. And I was really proud that he did that and extended that invitation. And I do hope that yeah, they will begin to go back. When these people they visit, there are all kinds of people on the delegation. Business owners, chief executives, people who make business decisions. So when they're coming, usually they bring these people along and they're looking around for investment opportunities. So hopefully something like that will come of this trip. There's something you and I were talking about yesterday about the PL vehicle.
Yes.
And
But
you,
before we go there, because I think we'll spend the end of the rest of the time we have just talking about the trip. I just
right,
want the world to know that it's so good that we have the type of PL that we have, and for multiple reasons. I will tell you a little bit of who he is. Someone who is quick and someone who thinks on his feet. Do you know? And also someone who's very empathetic. Let me just start with thinking on his feet. Do you know that PL had just 2 minutes to speak, like a minute and a half? That's what
right,
all of the speakers who, like those who are put on the program. So he really, really had to, in as much as I don't even know. I kept on preparing him and sending notes to Vicky. Vicky, make sure that our PL knows, that he has to speak. But we left and we were on time. It's just that PL we rode separate cars because we drove. My husband and I drove our own car, and then PL and the rest of the team rode CMC1, which is CMC's car. And so they got there, but PL insisted that they wait outside until his 14, which is for my husband and I, and the place was crowded. We couldn't find parking. Ice was
amen,
in the area, so we had to be careful. And so just when I said, Abraham, he dropped me off, so he went to go way around for parking. He
for
was taking.
parking.
Just when we got there, they were calling PL to speak. And just when we got in the hall, we didn't
Oh my
even
goodness.
sit. PL was on the stage speaking. So Vicky and I luckily just grabbed our phone, pressed it to the reference. I know the people are mad at us trying to because we're in front of the people they probably wanted to see, and we recorded the speech. But that's the kind of, I mean, PL was flexible, he was adaptable to the situation. Can you
Yeah,
imagine if we had another leader who was not as flexible, who was not adaptable? And he was very charming and made sure that he engaged in small conversation with different groups of people. They have
yeah,
so many different groups of people there, and we watch him. But I will tell you something about PL, something that you experience as well. When the moment they gave PL the opportunity to network and a break before he leaves the high table, guess what he
right.
can?
You can do, yeah.
Yeah.
because he did that. I remember that he did that when we were in the same Maryland at the Unico program. But
Yeah,
go ahead. I know that's what he did.
yeah,
He was a guest of honor. He should have sat at the high table, but they kept pulling him because he kept coming back to us, and we were all the way at the end of the room, and he was if I sat down, we also eat. And all of that, and if we were telling him, Mr. Belete, your seat is what they say, yeah, but I want to sit here with my
yeah.
people.
At least Unico, the other two was Liberian kind of overall network group. But this group was, a mixture of most of everybody, mostly Americans. So they really wouldn't have understood. He wanted to say, I kept on getting the eyes. Hey, go back. You go. So you know me. So he kept on looking at me like, hey, God. But it's a nice thing to have. I mean, in as much as it made us feel good, it made us feel welcome. It made even people, because like I said, we sat, there's a guy who's running to be state senator, state representative. He gave me his card, and me and my husband promised to go down to Maryland to help him knock on doors when the time comes.
Okay.
Yeah, he and his campaign manager sat at the same table. So, there were people like that, as I said, who were at the table. But I mean, the guy could see me telling Pierre, you gotta go join. You gotta sit here and everybody at the stage. So that is the kind of leader he is. He was waiting to make sure his team was there to support people, almost to the detriment of getting late to get us. I mean, they had to actually come and call him, and when I walk in there, he had to go. So luckily, Vicky waited for me, and Vicky had to kind of show me where our seats were. And when we got in the hall trying to find our seat, he was already on the stage speaking.
Already on the stage, yeah.
And the cameraman, KMTV, shout out to KMTV, Cyrus McGee was very generous. He was there with us. He was just trying to set up, and the PR was speaking. Yes, so yes, that was that part. It was a really awesome gathering. Our PR, unlike this is what the other leaders in our country are supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Liberia on the map in a way that we stay on the map, but in many facets and many ways, the PR continue to do things differently. It's in making international engagements. He's learning from people. It's funny because, and I'll just say this, and then we can move on to the car conversation. He came. One of the things he said when he came back, he said, "Da, we behind politics, oh." Said, look at the people. From different parties. The people, they know how to agree and agree. You don't got no pettiness, no fussing, no throwing words back and forth. You see how for a reason that people here together. I said, yeah, Pierre, that's true. But yes, but it was a very pleasant event. We went. And then afterwards, now that's when the CMC one came in. So go ahead.
Yes, no, I wanted to actually thank you, and also, you and the team, like you said, Vicky, AB, and for showing up, and giving him the support. It is important, you remember we were talking about this. We wanted to look into the possibility of him coming to deliver a major policy speech, either at Howard University or something like that. And because we wanted to begin to give him the necessary orientation, delivering, making major representation outside of Liberia. And so this is coincidentally a very, very poignant moment for us in the CMC. And I like I said, I believe he performed admirably. I saw the clip. We're watching you guys. I saw his delivery and everything. I have to say I saw his state of the nation address. So he came. I said to him, my man, I saw the way you were speaking. You were looking down the table. You got to get a teleprompter. He said, Chief, I've been getting there already. So but those are the little intangibles. Sometimes you never know what it will look like until you actually practically go through it. And that is why it's important. These people, they do it here. You have to go into the foreign arena and see, how you behave on the big stage outside of your comfort zone. It is important. Not that the PL has not done any international engagement, but that was it's a presidential gathering. He was on the stage as a presidential, a political leader. So more or less, he was president of the CMC. Representing CMC Nation at that program, and he did very well. Congratulations. Very proud of him. Very proud of you guys. I listened to the speech, just like you said. It was a short window, and I think he made the best of it. Basically reminding them that, hey, you have a place, you have a home, and we want you to come. And look what's happening now. They're calling you, trying to follow up. And if there's nothing these people know, they know how to network. And when they tell you they're coming, they mean they're coming. And I think pretty soon we'll have a trip on our hands. And I believe, you should be packing your bag soon. I hope AV got his bag, his backpack.
Yes.
My wife says she has not even unpacked yet, but that's another joke on the side.
Should you pack your bag too? Yes.
But if we can imagine what that would mean, that if an investment opportunity opens up, which I think the political leader is looking to, and I'm looking to get to school political mileage out of it. But this is what we're talking about. This is what the government is supposed to do. You go out there, you knock on doors, and then you wait for the reciprocation.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, we're not being political tonight, but I know the current government struggles with this. And this is year 3 now that we are going in, and they still struggle with it. But we'll leave that. So yeah, that was that, and then.
Well, no, yeah. One of the things that my colleagues have said about the previous government, which I think is the same with this government, is the inability to relate to the people publicly. Okay,
Yeah.
and we have something great, Mr. Nami, and that is our public relations. Our relationship that we have with the public.
Yeah.
Our PL is so flexible and adaptable in Liberia and abroad. I want to just say that he knows how to relate to the people. He knows the needs of the Liberian people, and not just the needs that that small thing. He's talking about making sure that we have up to par modernized city.
Yes.
That's what when he comes in, he interacts with these people outside of Liberia. This is what he's looking at, how the wildness of the modernization in the context of Liberia, okay? Because we all go back and say, yes, this is how we can tweak this to make this fit, okay? And that's what he's looking at. And I think that's what we happy with just going around. I think we're about to go to Switzerland. They're going to give us more money and blah blah blah. Somebody take their cut, whatever,
Right.
and we bring in these little pockets of investments and stuff like that. And that's not what we want. We want more. We want more. But yeah, that's yes. So many of you, we're talking politics, but we're talking bread and butter.
We just talking facts, right? Like we're talking facts, and whether the facts sound political, but those are the facts we're talking. This is what his government is supposed to do. Get out there and create opportunity. I know we'll go down. I read a nice piece by Ambassador is it Alicia, and it's Shonian.
Yes,
I don't know him, but I think he was at the foreign ministry. He wrote a very good piece. We'll get to that a little bit. But let's quickly talk about the vehicle, because I like I said to you yesterday, to us, it really is not a big deal, but apparently this is a big deal. I'm getting a lot of feedback from this. I'm getting a lot of calls. People want to know how we did this. Apparently, in the history of Liberian political opposition, I think this is the first in its kind that has happened, to have a political party, political leader actually come in here and ride in the vehicle of the party with the plate. I don't think there's CDC one or UP one or LP one, But you have CMC1 on your watch, Madam Chair, Madam
Thank
Global Chair. How did you do this? You gotta. I mean,
thank
congratulations to you. This is big.
Thank you, thank you, and is something to be proud of. I too am. I'm getting a lot of calls from people saying, "Wow, was that? How did you guys get that Figo? Was it true that have you been in the Figo? Did you touch it?" Yes, which is another story that I'm going to tell you. But I will tell you a little bit about the Figo. I want to tell you, kindness matters. Okay, kindness matters, and I think that's one of the things we can take away from even having the PLs around you. That Figo, PL was kind to a fellow man, and I know this story. A lot of people want to hear something else, but that's what I'm going to tell you. He was kind to somebody long years ago. Years ago, he was very kind to someone. I don't remember exactly. He doesn't remember exactly what he did, but that's what kindness does. When you're not, keeping
You don't
track,
remember, but the person you did it to remembers.
remembers exactly. If you're kind and person, like you myself, we just go along helping people along the way. And so, in recent times, when he came here, his last visit, this guy came to him and said, "Pierre, you remember so and so time? I was in so and so things. You did so and so." And he's like, "What?" I told you, you have fake memory, but you don't do things, you do it out of your heart, and this is what kindness matter. And so the guy said, I want to join CMC. That's one of the things he said, and I want to be able to give my ultimate support. I will do whatever it takes. Actually, the guy and his brother, he brought his brother on to, and his brother was after in Liberia right before you went there. And he came and he said he donated this transportation to us, to CMC, and that's what it is. I mean, he is here. Well, yeah, this is CMC car for our political leader to use while he's in America.
Absolutely, this is CMC1.
Yes, CMC.
And like I said again, I think I remember this story. I know the gentleman is in our chapter here. I remember, yes, and we will respect his privacy, but we thank him and appreciate the fact that he remembered what the PL did. And I know there are lots of stories I can tell you. There's one right here in my neck of the woods. In fact, I sent him a message today. He hasn't got back to me. You know, I was in Liberia. You were asking me. We're getting ready to build our Jersey chapter.
Correct.
So, so my wife and I, we're reaching out. But he went to the program that we had in August.
Mm-hmm.
He is kind of a big deal here. He has his own platform going here, local guys, Mm-hmm. But he came to that program. And I was curious. He hasn't signed the form yet, but he had a similar story when he was in Liberia working in government. He had dealt with the PL, and I think he processed some papers or documents, whatever. But the PL remembered him and went back, and appreciated his effort. Yeah. But the appreciation was so enormous, he believed, compared to what he did. And so he never forgot that story. So when he saw my announcement here, he made sure to go to that program, and that's why he was telling me. So I am sure we'll see a lot of that, because from the little time that I have gotten to know Honorable Ability, apparently he's a very magnanimous guy. I mean, nobody's perfect. I am sure there will be an equal amount of people who may have something on the contrary to what we are talking about here. But right now, we're talking about that story that led to the CMC1. And so, to my friends who have been texting me, if you didn't watch the show, then that's your loss, because I'm not going to text you back to tell you how we got that car. So you better try and watch the show and get, But yeah, we have CMC1 when the PL is here. That's what he's going to drive. We're going to drive him in, and that is CMC1, just like Air Force One. Who knows?
Yeah, but yes, and I want to highlight the point that you made. I have not seen a UP one.
No,
I have not seen a CDC one. I'm not saying ANC one, but we
Yeah.
do have CMC one.
Yeah.
All right. And to tell you, I actually, I know this comes as a surprise to many people. I do have a master's degree in political science. So I study politics,
You don't say. Because I was wondering how you got so political. Now I understand.
Yes, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
actually went to you actually went to school for this.
Yes, I went to school to be, and so when people, in fact, Kwame Nkrumah, I would just say, they would say Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, okay. But to tell you that the PR could have put ability one,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
no, he said CMC one.
Yeah.
That is to tell you that it is about the institution, it's about the
That's right.
people, it's about Liberia. This is not just one person's initiative. It's not just,
That's right.
in the 60s, we'll hear Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah,
Yeah.
okay? Or, you hear other political leaders at the time. Their name were attached to even the country as if Ghana is only for Kwame Nkrumah. I mean, even though I understand the importance of Kwame Nkrumah. So I just want to just tell you that, it was wonderful. There's another part of that CMC1 story that I love to share. And if I hope you allow me to do that. So
Please do that. Please do.
after the program, so we had the food, the dinner, which according to most of us, including the peer, that complete, what kind of dinner,
I know, right? That will buy dinner.
yeah, that what kind of
You
dinner.
remember when you finish, I'll tell you my friend Jerome where he was stopping when they go for dinner. There's another pizza they're serving. You were kind of like, my man, what if we your white cookie? I said, man.
Yeah, that is story there. That's exactly the story. So they brought them, things and then salad to eat and small little string beans and then potato, whatever the girls and stuff. So after the tea, Pierre said, what a local place that we can go eat. We can't see 11 o'clock at night. Can't see us trying to Google local places and stuff like that. Needless to say, and I repeated this story, and it came, some people attacking for this one, but whatever. Needless to say, of course we had our car, but we have already parked because we thought we were going to be at just coming to say bye to Pierre at the hotel, so we already parked in the hotel parking lot. So there was about 8 or 9 of us, Liberians, group of Liberians that Pierre just wanted to just gather, but we couldn't all fit in the car. So we were wondering, so if he said, should I get my car? He said, oh, no, we've already finished parking. By the time the car will be later, we'll add hours. He said, let's try to get in the car. So before we could look, Pierre not jumping the back.
Let me tell you a story. When he came to see me in the apartment, he was driving himself. That's how he behaved. You're driving. I said, my man, where your driver? He said, he came by himself, here alone. So he's that kind of guy, but he's unpredictable, but in a good way.
Yes. Yeah. And so I was a bit, comfortable, and I will explain the reason why I'm saying this story, because I think people think I was being ungrateful on another platform. I was talking about it to Mr. Alexander Cummings, and I wasn't. I was just saying, sometimes when you're around power, and out of respect, okay, you sort of concerned, and you have to shift. And as Michelle Obama says, no, power doesn't make you reveal who you are, and that's exactly what our peer was doing. Before we look, they made Johnny the bike say, "Oh, I'm in the car today," and we park in our car because we were out there as a peer, and the chair lady of the U.S. says, "Peer, you can sit in the front, because in the front seat, you have his comfort, you have his privacy. We'll not be squeezing.
We'll not be squeezing stuff and all that." Yeah.
He said, he said, "I front seat that y'all take that front seat that somebody else can sit down. Me, I in the car, and stuff like." He said the same discomfort because I had to squeeze me, and somebody said again, the same discomfort that you can experience a chair. What made you think you as a chair can experience? What made you think I can experience that too? Yeah, human being. I said, oh, and I was trying to say that, if you have a leader like that, I wasn't doing a comparison analysis to him and any other leader, all I know was the narrative that I told, that I experienced when I was around him. And when I walk into the class as Dr. Richardson, My students, they stop what they're doing.
Yeah,
That's the difference they have to power. I'm power in the class.
that's right.
However, I don't say anything. I just let them do just because I know power reveals who you are. I don't say
Yeah,
anything to this girl when it's time for me to teach. I stop and
yeah,
I present myself as this is what I'm here to do. But so that's what I was trying to say. So he is that kind of person. You can get along. He's an overall, for this moment, for the what we've seen so far. Maybe
yeah.
other people have different experiences. For the most part, my truth, and that's what we saw. So, like, he's just down to earth. And I said again, kindness matters. Being down to earth matters because when you get that bill that talks about I'm only going to pay the legislature high amount of money. I'm only going to pay the pro tem a lot of money. I'm only going to pay the office of the president a lot of money, the vice president. And you know in your head that you are kind and you're an empathetic person and you've been from where people like you come from, you will start to think twice,
Yeah.
and you will start to argue that no, I want more money for healthcare. I want more money for the infrastructure and for education for the majority of the Liberian people, not just for my comfort,
That's
because
right.
you've been there and you've done that.
You struck a very good point, and power does intoxicate. I mean, you have to really, really, really have the sensibility to realize that you have to moderate yourself. You have to be aware that the deference and all of that. You have to apply limits to those. Otherwise, like you're saying, you will overreact and you forget yourself. Um, in the classroom, like you're saying, you're the authority in the classroom, but those are human beings.
Yeah.
They have rights and all of that. It's like you're he's the political leader of the CMC. He is our leader. But he has to be magnanimous to understand that when we are surrendering, our comforts, we're trying to make him comfortable. He's a human to realize, why, yes, maybe once in a while I'll take the liberties, but for the most part, I have to understand that, these people, they want me to be comfortable, but they have to be comfortable too. And in many instances, he is on that side of the leadership, that servant leadership, making sure that we're okay. I mean, we were just talking about what happened at the UNICO program. He was on the high table, but he would come and sit with us. And he's done this on numerous occasions. We went to the bunk Town Alumni Association program, even though you were on stage, so you probably missed that. But he and I were the guests. We sat down at the same table together when he could have sat down somewhere else. And that's how he is. And I'm getting my friends here. Oh, you're trying to humanize Musa, something. Yeah, yeah, but that's part of our job to humanize. So humanizing, we're not gonna be shy and say no. That's because that's what he is. So he continues to get in touch with his human side in spite of the enormous power. I mean, look, let's be honest. The man is a legislator that is very powerful in our country. He's a businessman.
He's rich.
He's rich, very wealthy. And so there is the very high probability that people always defer to him. But he's never forgetting that the people around him are humans.
He
Like I
doesn't
said,
forget that he's human as well.
yeah.
Uh,
I was just saying when we got in town, my wife and I, he came around 9:30 in the evening, was until after 11. He could have said, "My man, come to the office tomorrow." And I'm not saying, yes, but that is to me, that is someone who understands that when you're up there, you have to understand that there are limits, but the people around you, to the extent possible, they will always defer to you. Yes, we've challenged you on meetings. There are times we think you will be going in a different direction, and we would, but those are policy issues, and so we are able to hash out our policy and disagreements to come out with a single representative statement or policy that represents CMC. But in terms of the pecking order and all of that stuff there, we all know, how we're positioned on the totem pole. But in most instances, yeah, he will leave his pot at the head and come to us, and I think that's commendable. And I think we're not trying to make his head big or anything. We're just saying it like it is, you know. So, but we almost, I know it's just you and I. We still have about 18 or so minutes, I believe. So, I wanted us to talk a little bit of politics, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I wanted to add just something for just a few minutes, and I wanted to speak. Some people may call it like we're trying to humanize our political leader, Mr. Busa. Some people say, yeah, but I want to just tell you about his adaptability, which is important for a leader. Okay, and for anyone for that matter, you have to know when you're in a classroom how powerful you are as an educator. That when you speak, people listen, and so you have to make sure that you don't say, "Oh, you stupid, you this, you that," And this is what this is what humanity does to someone. Mr. Billade know very well he can sit in the front seat. He's a wealthy man. He's been to business for a long time, but he said, "You know what? I'm gonna experience what it's like to be uncomfortable and be a part of the group."
Yeah.
And again, how I'm very observant. Of course, my other training being a psychologist makes me observe a lot of things that people don't see. It's like, how does this translate to our people?
Yeah.
That translate to people in general. Yes, so I'm saying that when that bill comes that asks for us to decentralize the ports in Liberia,
Yes.
this is where kindness matter. This is where empathy matter. This person be looking at, when I do this, to what extent will the people get jobs to feed their families, build good schools, will healthcare be an issue? So somebody will be able to ask those questions as opposed to just putting everything in their pocket or making sure that they are comfortable and only them and their family are comfortable. So that's all I wanted to add. And I wanted to add, yes, you asked me a question a couple of times off air about us getting an airplane.
I want us to talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yes, yeah. So after your question, I went and did some digging, right? So and this is about. I also want to tell you about the political leader, and you probably experience this. Sometimes he is so fair, and when it comes, this is the adaptability. When it comes to us discussing things and policy issues, I think you've seen this. I think you were there. You were in a meeting, and you had to call the shot, and he called the shot, and whether you like it or not, he called the shot. And it seemed to happen this weekend. We're having that discussion, and I like often to play a middle ground type person. When it's time for me to call the shot, I will call the shot. But I like to know more. But Pierre seemed to just read into the thing, and he just called a shot right now. I was like, oh my God! I just turned around and said, "Hey, call that man. He get there, put a team a little bit, talk about the team a little bit, but he just called the shot."
Yeah.
So, yes. But to tell you about his fairness, his ability to see things and say as it is, which for a leader that's appreciative. That means you're a very decisive person. You can make decisions right there and then. Speaking, so I text him and I said, we want to know. I said, there's more questions around this airplane business, CMC airplane, and he told me yes. He didn't. He said yes, it's in the making.
Yeah.
He's negotiating right now, and what the media is saying is true. And not only that, uh he will be. I think maybe you're the one who shared with me about the helicopter.
I did. I
Yeah.
did.
Hmm.
Yes, I did. And thanks for confirming that. Like I said, the news broke in the last 2 or so days when I was leaving town, so I didn't have a chance to talk to him. But like I indicated, I did speak with our colleagues, in decision making, and they confirmed the reporting on the aircraft. But they also told me that there are also consideration for acquiring a helicopter.
Yes.
And the rationale is this. They said the Elections Commission is very, very particular and strict on candidates not campaigning outside of the official campaign window.
Yes.
But when the time comes and they do declare the campaign open, the window is so small, it is very difficult to cover the entire 73 electoral districts without difficulties.
Yes.
And they are now planning in advance of this because they want to make sure the PL reaches almost every town in the republic that is reachable. And so they tell me that the helicopter is in the discussion, acquiring one, so that it will make it easier for him to, go to designated spots. And the plan is pre-position ground transportation. So, for instance, he will fly from Monrovia to Harper, and then the vehicles will be there and take him to the various, districts. But the object is to make sure to get him to his people, make sure he touches base with his people within the campaign window. We don't want any excuses. Oh, the town was too small. We're sorry. No, we're not going to do that. So yeah, that's what they told me about the helicopter. But they did confirm too about the private jet, just like you are reporting. But
Yes.
again, like I said, I didn't talk to him about this, but I'm glad you did. So
Yeah,
now,
so you and I, and we had a meeting, and Sarah, other people asked, and so I just texted him
yeah,
and asked him about the situation. And he said, yes,
yeah.
I was waiting for us to meet, for me to report this to the team, but the news got out before I could even make up my mind
Of
because
course. But
we,
that, not to cut you off, it is understandable. Look, and I have to remind our people, this man is a businessman. He's a legislator. He has tight schedules, right? Imagine he's over here for the Martin Luther King birthday program, where he has to be in session on Tuesday and Thursday,
yes,
because I didn't know
and
this.
he's a student. He go
Exactly.
to
So, so he has a very tight schedule. He can't be sitting in transit for 4 hours, 5 hours waiting for a connecting flight, and all of that stuff. So it makes a lot of sense, to be able to get around with ease. Than those of us, the ordinary people.
the
So
plebeians, then including myself.
I didn't want to use that word, but that's a word I used a lot when I was in high school and college. The bourgeoisie and the plebeians,
Plebeians, exactly.
the
The
peasants.
peasants, yes. Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. And it is the same argument we were making with the current president, right? To the extent that it is affordable. Even Alice Cummings made that. That's one point where he separated himself from the rest of us, talking about the president's ability to attend functions, protocols on time. You cannot be invited to a protocol and you sit in transit 5 hours, you understand me, to make a connecting flight. And he was saying he felt if there was a need for the president to charter a plane, he should do so to attend his protocol. Of course, it's entirely, these are two different things, because
No, no, you
what you
make
put in must be equal to what you get out. Unfortunately, right now we're putting in so much into transportation, all of that, with the country is not getting out much. So that's another story. But on the
yes.
CMC side, that is a thought, so that the political leader can go from one point to the other, and be able to do it in prescribed time period.
Yes.
That's the thought.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, imagine if PL left Liberia, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday.
I think
Thursday yes,
Thursday because we
I
left the
did
same day.
on Friday
Yeah,
morning,
yeah,
early morning, and then nighttime on Friday, we had to go to this dinner event, the Martin Luther King dinner event. Imagine he had
yeah.
not really slept or rested or think about what he was going to say. So
Right,
you make a compelling and convincing argument for this, someone in the PL's role, okay, the political leader role need to have a reliable transportation. And that's what this negotiation for the airplane will do. I think he told me it probably flies like 16, it can fly 16 hours. So it would be good to be able to bring him here to the United States, and take him around the regions where he's going to be
right,
meeting and talking to other people. And of
right,
course, the helicopter will be for our internal usage during the elections period.
right.
But the difference, as you're highlighting, is that he's not doing this to boost his morale
No,
to the story. You
no.
know, you have to speak to Liberian people and it got to be above and beyond boosting your morale.
Yeah,
You're not going
it's
to tell me I'm going to
it's
get up.
about
Mhm,
efficiency, doc.
correct.
The people around the world. Let me. I'm not sorry. Let me tell people maybe they don't understand this. This man is a businessman. The
Mhm.
business partners he's dealing with around the world, they don't know excuses. They don't understand what it means to say, "Oh, my plane was late." No,
No,
no, that's not an excuse. That's not good enough.
no,
So
not
he has to be able to conduct his legislative responsibilities in Monrovia and in District 7, do the CMC work which is required, and be able to go to Norway and attend a business meeting and get back. So
correct.
it's nothing about it's all about efficiency, it's nothing to do with morale.
Yes,
No.
and that's what the CDC government, and I'll go there, failed to inform and educate the Liberian people as you're talking about. And that's what also the Unity Party people failed to inform and educate the Liberian people. Go and tell them this is the budget, this
Yeah,
is what we're going to spend for traveling, because our president has to. When he travels, this is what the engagement he has to make. And
yeah,
although people are measuring what is he, but how is it beneficial to the Liberian people when you go on these trips? What Papa bringing back home? That's the
yeah.
question they're asking. But yes, there's another day for that conversation.
And I have to really beat this point to death because I know my friends are watching. I see some of them already posted. So let me tell you something. You can say, oh, maybe then he has to leave early so he will catch a flight on that. No, then you taking away the time you should be at home doing other stuff when you're leaving early, because then you're stealing that time from that schedule. So you have to understand it that way. So he's in tight spaces. He's trying to make the best of it, you know. And I think getting a private jet, if it is within the means of the CMC, I think it's a smart move. I think it is efficient, and I think it makes it easier for him to be able to do the functions that he is assigned, and do them responsibly. Be a responsible lawmaker, be a responsible businessman, and be a responsible political leader of a political party. I think it's just that is. I don't see any problem there. It has nothing to do with morale boosting. So all that stuff about oh, the man won't be hip and all of that. No, I think you're the one who's trying to be hip by trying to explain it differently. But so
But
now you know,
but,
and you
but
understand.
I think you remember George Weah said his friend was giving him a prior thing to boost his morale. That's where I got that concept. That's where I got that from. So you probably remember now. But yes, your argument makes sense. This is why he needs, in today's world, you need to be able to have that approach or that manner to travel. You just need to be able to do it. I give you a common example. I had a man just arrived on Saturday, on Friday morning.
Right.
What time do you have to sleep to prepare to be? Luckily he's adaptable,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you can't underestimate the value of time. Because you just need it, and that's what he needed.
And not to mention the toll that you know it takes on your body in these
Of
little
course.
cramped tight spaces. People have to really understand this.
Yes.
I never got in a private jet. Maybe you have that, but I understand the comfort there is you get a chance to, if you want to shower, you can do stuff that
Yes.
with a plebeian cannot do. At least you can go to the bathroom, when
Yeah.
you're
Oh, you
clean
can
and
just
wait for
sleep.
somebody who's already in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you get this, you relax yourself, you get out, you're refreshed, and you can
Mhm.
you can function,
Yes.
and go to the next point. So it's just that Liberia was so poor. This is not even something we should talk about. It's really not a big deal.
Yes, this is what other countries,
Yes.
people who are rich, people who are in leadership positions, that's the means of traveling.
Absolutely.
However, though, we just need to, communicate such thing. I mean, he's a private man at this point, so we are having this conversation because we're talking about it. But if you're the president of the country, just you have to be able to communicate it in a sensible, logical,
Yeah.
financial way to the Liberian people.
Yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh, it's to boost my morale," or you can't just say, "Oh, you don't talk about it. We just look, the plane can pick you up from the airport and you're going." No, how are you paying for it? Whose
And
money?
and and I think what's making it difficult for our UP fellows is because during the CDC time,
Mhm.
uh, they were the loudest when the president brought his morale boosting
Yes,
plane. Remember that he got from his train, I think where Burkina, wherever he got that
yes,
from. Yes.
yes.
And so they criticized this thing the loudest. And now they are in a mansion. It turns out they're doing the identical thing, and it is difficult for them to draw a distinction. And so even when Alice Cummings tries to help them out, they're still having difficulty. But it is really is utility is a utility question. It's not a luxury question. It's a question of efficiency, being able to maximize on your time.
Mhm.
And again, the CMC is we're not using taxpayer money. Uh,
No.
if we can afford to do this, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
If you don't mind, Doc, I recognize one of my buddies here, even though he and
Mhm.
I we throw each other, but he's here. But let me recognize a few people. I will get to Tia Jadia. But
Yes.
yeah, let me welcome James Star David. Yeah, he's in Nigeria. Hey, my buddy, I hope you sign up with the chapter there. We're talking about inaugurating you guys, but thanks for joining us, James. Uh,
Hmm.
Honorable Josiah Tapewe, he's following from Nimba County District Number 1, LPMC Bypass Community. Evelyn Williams, I'm not sure if this is the wife of my friend, if it is ES, but Evelyn Williams is watching. ES, if it is you, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Cleta, I've never really learned to pronounce this name, Doc. Have you?
Gualimita.
Yes, Clita Galamita. I think
Yes,
you said it
yes.
right.
This how
Yeah.
you will tell one day you call in the show and tell how to pronounce it.
One
But
day, please call in and tell us how to say it. But go ahead, if you want to.
no, well,
To.
you're doing good. You're
Uh,
doing good. Yeah.
all right, Morris AM Jabate is watching from CMC Corner, Point Four Junction. Morris is always with us. Morris, thanks for joining us. M.A. Kenneth, watching from Monrovia. M.K., thanks for joining us. Leo Cisse, Leo is watching from his little corner. Leo, thanks for joining us. And look, who's here. This is the USA Canada chair, Victoria Sandelos. Congratulations, oh, my new. When my wife said, Yago Niba, Yago see it. I think that's right.
Congratulations, you are right.
Vicky, I said it right, so you got nothing on me. But Vicky, thanks for joining us. I know you should have been on air with us, but you had an emergency meeting. Gertrude called me and I was like, look, Frank, I can't do the show. But
Yeah.
anyway, Vicky, thanks for joining us. Regards to the family. Amelia Atia, good evening. Amelia is watching us. So this is my friend Tia Jadia. Yeah, Tia, CMC is not getting anywhere with a renowned criminal who robbed the country. Liberia will not be turned into an Islamic state. Nobody said anything about turning Liberia into Islamic state. I've explained that to you ad nauseum. But hey, you're entitled to, your health views. But it's nice of you to join us, Tia, my friend. Kevin, this is the chairman of the Youth Auxiliary. Kevin passed away. I hung out with Kevin quite a bit. He's a nice kid. Yeah, very nice. Kevin, thanks for joining us. That's all from my end, Doc.
Good. Yeah. It's 8:30. I just want to plug
okay.
in. Yeah,
Okay.
they put a plug in for those of you who are watching. I want you to consider visiting our website, and also on the website you have the application form to become a member. If you're in Liberia, you can just join straight anywhere. In fact, anywhere in the world, you can just join CMC. But particularly if you're in Liberia, you just come on and join CMC. So, I also want to just say it's always wonderful and great being here with Mr. Namwe. He makes communicating the issues so nice. I can talk about the issue and we can just flow.
I just following you. You got it.
We can flow for one conversation.
Likewise, yeah, Doc. I really enjoy, talking to you.
So yes, I just want to say thank you and welcome back to you and your family, your wife.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully, in fact, we're looking forward to those of you. We decided on a date. We're going to be having our holiday Valentine's Day party in South Jersey. You just wait. The information is coming out. The chairperson of Pennsylvania.
CMC. We're getting
together. I wish I could say it like the way you can say it. So you'll be seeing that information, on the social media and also in the different chat rooms. So again, I just want to tell Miss Gertrude Jefferson, who is the chairperson for Pennsylvania, Delaware, and South Jersey chapter. Thank you so much. She'll be communicating with you. Hey, bring a lot of people to our political party.
We just dropped the link in the chat. Pass it on. CMCLIB.com. But Doc, if I may just quickly, there's a point you made, and I really don't. That is the genius. Again, going back to the car. And I know we're leaving, but you said that car, Musa Hassan Bility could have just put Bility 1 on that car, but it would have just been another license plate because there are lots of personalized, plates in the country here. But they thought to have put on CMC 1. I mean, now look where it is. Basically, history has been made from Liberia. The first political party ever. I mean, anybody can challenge me. I know I'll wake up tomorrow to the trolls on my page. They will be calling me liar, pants on fire. But I'm here. So I've been called names. But that is the political genius. And I have to recognize that for what it is. Just the thought of doing that. So
thank you. And just to add, and I know we gotta go, but just to share that car is not only for Mr. Billy when he's here, it's for the party as a whole. So we have party businesses in different states. It's for all of us to be able to have access to.
We haven't even talked about office spaces that we are considering.
Well, exactly. That's a whole nother. And then, for example, Dr. Foulet is having an inauguration coming up in Indiana, I believe. And
okay.
Yeah, okay. The CSC was invited. In fact, they wanted our political leader to be one of the speakers, inaugurating speaker or something like that, but he's not here. So we have to send representatives. So it's something that we have to consider as a political party. But I'm just saying that car is not only for the transportation of the political leader Musa Asability, is for the leadership and also some of the members who have to make important CMC business trips. So yeah. So
well said, Madam Global. Well said. Yes. When Musa Hassan Bility is not in town, Francine Richardson becomes CMC 1. I don't know about AB. I don't know. Maybe AB will be the driver.
Yeah. you consider that. I know you drive your wife around that. Drive Miss Stacy. Drive Miss CMC 1. Yeah. Well, we just want to tell you guys thank you for coming here.
Thank you, Dad. It's been a great evening. Thank you, all audience, for joining us. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yes, we look forward to doing it again. So thank you. I
Okay.
guess you have to. I don't see where you have to close up. Yeah.
I don't know.
So you have. Do you have where you have to press something that says end live show?
I see end stream. Is that what I press?
Yes.
Okay.
Press that.
All right. All right.
CMC for the people, by the people, and to the people. Citizens movement for change. Oh yes, a new day has come. Yes, a new day has come. Rise up, Liberia. CMC for the people. CMC by the people. Let us join our hands together. By the people, let us join our hands together to build a better life. Equity, national unity, transparency, accountability, social justice, integrity, CMC core values.